All right, let's start by talking about what's happening in India. The middle class particularly is feeling the heat as big tech is eating into white-collar jobs and salaried roles. They've lost their sheen. But is this the end, or is this the dawn of a new era? Our next report decodes for you. Take a look.
India's economy is buzzing. From luxury car sales to booming iPods, the scent of affluence is in the air. Yet, amid the glitter of rising billionaires and unicorns, India's salaried middle class finds itself at a crossroads, squeezed between ambition and automation. The old dream, stable jobs, steady increments, and the occasional bonus, is quietly going out of fashion. Today's white-collar workers are realizing that spreadsheets don't guarantee security and PowerPoints can't protect paychecks. As AI writes code faster than ever and automation tightens its grip on repetitive tasks, the safe salaried job is becoming a high-risk illusion. But experts say there's a twist. This isn't a funeral for the middle class, it's a rebirth. In a country where mobile data is cheaper than coffee and banking is just a thumbprint away, the barriers to building something new have never been lower. With digital rails in place, India is quietly becoming a launchpad for first-time founders. Experts say job seekers can become job creators. Skills honed in cubicles can be redeployed in startups, solopreneurship, content creation, or even high-skill freelancing. Sure, the 9-to-5 may be losing its sparkle, but it's giving way to a new currency: freedom. Freedom to solve, build, and grow on your own terms. So as the great Indian middle class stands at this economic inflection point, the choice is clear: cling to the old or pivot to the bold. Because in the new India, success may no longer come with a salary slip. It might just come with a startup pitch. Bureau Report. WION. World is one.
Do you think this whole 9-to-5 concept in India is slowly fading away?
I would not say him that it's going away. I think it's evolving, especially in the knowledge worker space, because when we see that, jobs in tech, creative fields, service sectors, they don't need to start at 9 and finish at 5. In fact, I think we probably start much earlier and finish much later. But then there are break times and all through the day. Having said that, industries like manufacturing, automotive, those industries cannot go away from the 9-to-5 role. And especially in tier 2, tier 3 cities where jobs are just about mushrooming, they will need to start with the 9-to-5 discipline, bringing people into office. And gradually it kind of then starts evolving into more than just a 9-to-5 job, especially with the youngsters that are coming into the labor workforce, the first-time job seekers. They probably don't want to do the 9-to-5 or a desk job. They probably want to do something more creative on their own, dabble with multiple things, typically like a gig worker, and then decide what their right path is. So yes, I think I would say that the future is hybrid in India, where work will become, fluid.
Well, the focus is on how work trends are changing in India. India's middle class, it is feeling the heat as tech eats into white-collar jobs and salaried roles are slowly losing their sheen. The question being, is it the end or just a new beginning for desk roles? With rising affluence, digital access and a changing mindset, the desk job dream may be giving way to entrepreneurial ambition as well. And of course, we have with us Ms. Neeti Sharma. Ms. Sharma, you were of course talking about how the role and the future of work perhaps in India is hybrid. That being said, do you think it's time for the government to acknowledge that India needs to rethink the way we learn, the way we earn, the way we disrupt?
I think absolutely. Right from the time when we have a kid getting into school, to their completion of graduation or post graduation, or even much before that, I think application driven learning is something that we have been calling out for a fairly long time. And I'm sure everyone's heard this in India, that unemployability is a bigger challenge than unemployment, because the poor cannot afford to remain unemployed. They end up doing something which is substandard, some sub wages. But if we resolve the employability problem, and that's where the government intervention comes in, where we look at application driven learning, we look at apprenticeship driven learning, right? So I think working on the job, learning while working, earning while learning, I think these are concepts that the government has been talking about it. They've taken first few steps with redefining the education policy. Last budget, the finance minister also called out, for the universities to incorporate internship or apprenticeships as part of every program that they deliver. I think all of those will ensure that we are bringing in more and more employable candidates into the labor market, as against just, I've completed my graduation, next what, right? My first jobs cannot be an internship. Internship has to be of the way we learn, and thereon how we earn and grow actually in our careers.
Right. And of course, just to expand on that, what sort of policies do you think the government would require to promote entrepreneurship among tech first generations that are most vulnerable to workplace changes, perhaps?
I think the whole concept of ease of doing business, simplifying compliance, offering a single window clearance, which reduces all the friction that a startup can actually face when they're starting their journey. Of course, capital access is a given. I mean, I think startups need funding support, which some of our government schemes are talking about it, and they have also funded a lot of startups in the last few years. Tax breaks, again, are very important for young startups, especially in the innovation space. Because in India, while we've been talking about global AI, but in India, there are many, many young startups, tech startups that are very slowly working in the space of AI and cloud. I think the government has to have policies that encourage these innovations. Research and development is something that we've been actually not focusing on for the last few years, but something that we can actually do that, have mentoring groups, just ensure that people have the right access to talent, funds, and tax breaks. I think a lot of simplified compliances can help startups innovate, grow, and thereon create more jobs, especially in the tier 2, tier 3 cities, because we don't want everyone running into tier 1 cities for employment. I think we need more and more jobs in tier 2, tier 3 cities as well, to diversify the kind of jobs and roles that into India.
Right. Well, Ms. Sharma, thank you so much for joining us on World Business Watch with your insights on this.
Thank you, Him.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.